Hey guys, Mike Chamberlain here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I have a 567 set forward here. The sun's going down and it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful day it was today. And well, actually it wasn't. I mean, it was a nice morning. The day was kind of gray, but now the sun's going down. It looks fantastic. So here I have a 567 set forward. Now, one of my previous videos, I announced how the 367 set forward was done for 2020. You can no longer get a 367 set forward front axle. You can still get the set back front axle. You can still get the 367 high hood. Thank goodness, love that spec. But the 367 set forward is no longer. We do have a couple in stock if someone needs one, but it is being replaced, or it has been replaced with this, the 567 set forward. And the 567 is the latest cab. I'm not going to call it the new generation cab because it's not new anymore. It is actually almost 8 years old and it's been doing fantastic, and it's just about time to pass the torch. So you should check out this 567. So this is a 567 set forward tractor spec. This one is a logger. It's going to be pulling a hay rack, and gosh, it looks fantastic. It really does. The sun, check out the sun. Looks great, low in the sky. Anyways, got the heavy duty toe pin, tapered bumper, 4 1/4 425 65 R22.5 steers, Michelin. Now I love these fender flares. Look at how nicely they cover that tire, and these are the wider offset wheels that I like, and the way that that's molded just looks fantastic. Now we're not putting hub and nut covers on this one as the customer doesn't want them. Now we do actually have a small quarter fender with the 567 set forward, but with the 567 series we have had basically zero hood issues, zero quarter fender issues. It's been fantastic. We do have on this one our in-house designed mirror extensions. So we actually have a mirror extension here that we put on that brings this out, because this truck will be pulling a trailer at 9'6" wide down the highway. We have our 120 gallon fuel tank on the driver's side with an 80 gallon on the passenger side. Large def tank. And this one has the Arctic Trailer Manufacturing tractor rig out. So on this cab guard, it's got somewhat of a drum deck, chain tray, whatever you want to call it, to protect the fuel tank from logs falling forward. They made a nice little cutout so we can service the DPF if need be. We've got our standard cross frame chain hangers with poly fenders. These ones came from Arctic Trailer Inc., serving all your truck and trailer needs. Now this is what we call a poor man's slide. At least that's what I call it. We got outboard rails, it's bolted on, it's got electric scales, but we call it a poor man's slide because if you need to move it, you just unbolt it, move it, do up the bolts again. It's a great option. With the TriDrive, generally you don't move your fifth wheel. Once it's where you want it, that's generally where it stays. So once you get it set up, you just leave it where it is. This one does have air track suspension. Look at that sun. So Pete Air Track is probably hands down the best suspension for traction. When we compare Air Track to New Way, Air Track, because it has such high articulation, you can lift one side up probably 4 to 6 inches and the other wheel will still have 80% ground pressure on it. Absolutely fantastic suspension for traction. It does have the spring and a little bit shorter airbag. You know, I don't know that it gets quite as good a ride as New Way, but sorry, phone's ringing. But it's pretty damn good, and a lot of ride comes from the front, depending on how you've spec'd something. But Armor Max Pro drive tires. Now these were We're a good tire from the factory price-wise. They do have the DuraSeal technology in them, so if you do get a puncture, it seals up. I find that they don't last quite as much as I would like them to. They're not a bad tire, but in the summer with the heat, they're not as good as some others. But here's another issue I have with greenhouse gas regulations. So according to the EPA, the tires that we want are not low rolling resistant. These tires are low rolling resistant. So with these tires, we get them more affordable from the factory. Whereas if I get the tires that I actually want, like a Bridgestone 775 or a Goodyear G741, we pay a huge premium, like to the tune of about $5,000 more, at least. So it's like I can put these tires on and my truck is $5,000 cheaper, or I put the tires that I want on and it costs me $5,000 more. It's absolutely ridiculous. So these tires will probably run them out and the customer will be putting on, well, whatever he wants. So, and these are an expensive tire, like Canadian, I think they're $700 and some a piece with the DuraSeal technology. But depending on the application, you know, with logging this time of year, not the greatest tire. Not a bad tire, but it's that same old story. Get the tire for the season that you're in. But we also rigged this with a Polytech toolbox. So this toolbox is all made out of plastic. Polytech is a local company here in Prince George. Got a little handle there. Nothing too fancy, just a plastic toolbox, and the edge of the door is made to keep the spray and stuff out. There's our 80-gallon fuel tank and our deck. We've got the straight pipes on this one, our DPF bucks all shined up. It's just absolutely beautiful. Just an absolute beautiful evening to take some pictures of this truck. Love it. I'll open the hood for you guys. Let's check out what it looks like under the hood for a 567 set forward. And you know, it's interesting. I just delivered a 567 setback. I'm not sure if that video is going to post before this one, but my customer came and picked it up. That is Chris Hughes from Gladstone Ventures. Thanks, Chris, for your business. We really appreciate it. Just saying that I delivered another one today, 567 setback to my customer, Gladstone Ventures, Chris Hughes. And Chris has another 567 that I sold him. And he was telling me how much he liked it. You know, how quiet the cab was, how comfortable it was, well, that it is. And, you know, for him, he's not interested in the 3 Series cab anymore, and he's moving on to the 5 Series. So, and you know, it's one of those things, I've had more people tell me that they absolutely love their truck, or you know, that it's comfortable right out of the gate with the 5 Series than any other truck I've sold. And I mean, I've sold for Peterbilt now for 9 years. I sold Western Stars before. I've sold Kenworths as well. You know, it's a big thing when someone gives you a call and says, you know what, by the time I got to that first intersection, it was comfortable. And you know, quite often when you get a new truck, you got to make it your own. You got to get the feel. But yeah, anyways, babbling on. Guys are loving the 5 Series. So with the set forward, it's a little bit different spring arrangement. We do have the progressive front end again. I do like that. Our Davco fuel water separator. I really like the Davco. This is a 565 2050 torque again. Got our anti-blowdown latch here. Take a look at the other side. Got our, now here's something, the 5 Series has a in-cab air filter, and I'll see if it's going to be easy. It's cold right now, so you just pop that back, kind of makes a loud noise, pull this off, and there you go. There's your in-cab air filter. Pull it out, put a new one in, and you're good to go. So it's super easy. So if you're in a really nasty environment, you could keep cab air filters in your truck and just change them when need be. And how do I did this wrong. I did it wrong. There we go. It was upside down. snap it back. There we go. And just like that, boom, change your cab air filter. So anyways, let's take a look inside of the 567 set forward front axle. And here we go. Actually, let's close the door again and open it. Oh, this one does have battery disconnect. So right now, your interior lights aren't on for power saving measures. So if I turn the key on, lights come on. And I did have the heater going because it was chilly. And it's still chilly. Let's back up here a little bit. Look at that, eh? Just fantastic. Now these seats have a fun feature. Auto down. So if I hit that button, the seat will automatically go down. And if I hit it again, it comes up to an entry position. And then it's going to adjust depending on your weight and where you have it set. So when I get in, the seat's going to go down. And then up I go. And let's turn that off. Turn the lights back on. So this is our 567 set forward. I've said it in other videos. If you look at my leg, I'm 6 feet tall and this is extremely comfortable. You could still stretch your leg out over here if you're a guy that has knee issues, but and I say that because I used to have issues with the old Kenworth cab. Actually, I had a 2000 Kenworth back in the day, and my knees would lock up and I'd have to stretch my leg out, and then when they went to the new cab with the cup holder down here, if I drove one, I couldn't stretch my leg out, my knees would start aching and I'd be like trying to stretch it out so my kneecap could pop. But anyways, so great spec. This is platinum interior. So we have our smart wheel with cruise control, volume controls. We've got our speedo. We've got ABS off-road switch again. Fuel tank selector, level gauge, left and right. Spare switches. We've got our fifth wheel slide, inner axle, diff lock 1, second and third axle diff lock. Spare air switch, PTO switch, and air suspension dump. We've got 2 cup holders, one there and one here, so you can be double fisting your coffee. We've got spare parts for the mic. This one did have the pre-wire put in for VHF, so that's why the hole is open there. Now with this, the passenger seat, I'll just adjust this down a little bit. Passenger seat in a 5 Series with the in-cab battery box is not adjustable. Downside is you can't adjust it. Good thing is the way they've got it set, it's quite comfortable. The seat's back, so you don't need to move it back, and it doesn't rattle. Anyone that's driven a 3 Series, you've probably experienced passenger seat rattle, and it's not uncommon. And if you are driving one and it's not that old and you have a complaint, take it to your dealer, get them to fix it. We fix them and it's not a big deal, just bolt it up solid. But yeah, 5 Series doesn't rattle. It's fantastic. Another neat thing, see if I can show it here. They have battery disconnect switch right on the in-cab battery box. Great option. You can reach over, shut the batteries off, lock it out. If you're working on it, all LED in-cab lighting, which is also nice. Smart nav. Oh, and this over here, we've got our workstation. So, you know, when this first came out, I thought, well, that's kind of silly because, you know, yeah, it's a platinum interior, but why would you want a workstation if you're in a day cab? But customer of mine has fuel trucks, and he said, you know what, we have to do paperwork, and usually when you're doing your paperwork, you have to be on the passenger side if you're unloading. So with that, if you're doing paperwork on the passenger side, you can sit in the passenger seat and do your thing. So it's sorry about that. Yeah, so if you're in the passenger seat, you can do your paperwork. You got your workstation here, fantastic option. And if you don't use it, not a big deal. Glove box, got our mirrors, so you can check your makeup or see how much mud is on your face. Another sun blind bent. What the heck? Why can't I speak right now? This is also a track for a windshield curtain. Right there. Now this might seem kind of crazy to have this windshield curtain track on a 5 Series day cab, but it's actually kind of handy if you know, depending where you're hauling, what you're doing. Once upon a time, I hauled off Vancouver Island, and of course you'd have to get to the ferry early and you'd be sitting there waiting, so you'd try and have a nap, but you're parked under a street light. And even though it was a day cab, I always thought, man, if I could get a curtain in a day cab, how nice would that be? So now with the 5 Series cab, you can get a curtain for the day cab. And this one actually has it. I didn't put it in because, you know, the customer may or may not use it. And if they do choose to use it, you know, we can put it in for them and it'll be there. You know, but if you're a guy that's on a scheduled run and you've got somewhere to wait and you just want your cab dark so you can just, you know, sit back in your seat, close your eyes, and not have street lights or whatever, it's a great option. You know, probably 1 in 10,000 people would ever need it or want to use it, but that one person that does will really appreciate having it. So anyways, that's it for now. Just so you know, that is an option. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the 567 step forward. Looks like the sun is going down and I just missed a couple calls, so I better call those guys back because I do not like missing calls. So everybody is important and I really appreciate everybody that calls, emails, and reaches out to me. And yeah, if you're looking for a truck like this, don't hesitate to shoot me a text or email me at my email address. I'll put a link to it on in the descriptions down below. And that's it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.